Hello everyone, I am PyroFalkon and this is Evil Genius 1. I'm using the World Domination Mod, which you can check out at Nexus Mods. I have links in the video description for both this game on Steam and the mod. Shout out to the mod maker who goes by John Steele, which, me being me, that is an unfortunate name because John Steele is my old nemesis. And he's such an old nemesis that I'm going to finally challenge him on his own terms by becoming him. That's one of the nice things about what the mod does. You can see here you can pick Maximilian, but you can also choose Red Ivan. And when you choose the middle option, Alexis and Steele, you become John's twin brother, Adam Steele, and Alexis just takes a backseat to it. That's what we will be doing. Also, real quick, while we're loading up here and have the opening cutscene, I promise this will be the only self-promotion I do in the series, but you can check the video description for links to my Patreon and PayPal and my books on Amazon and other ways you can support the channel if you like these videos and my gameplay style and Evil Genius in general. It helps remind me that I have work to do here on YouTube, and this is what my this is the job I was made for. And right now I'm made for being a blueprint designer because the first thing we need to do, one of the things the mod does, is it takes away the entrances of your first island. That way you can sort of do this yourself. And as always, I never plan ahead as to how my base is going to look. I always just wing it because I find that more fun. Let me see. Let's get 10 beds. No, if something gets blown up... I'm forward thinking. I'm going to put some lockers on this wall, but I'm going to put some beds on this wall because if things pop off in the barracks, then what we don't want is to have... you know what? I'm actually good with that. If things pop off in the barracks, what we don't want are the lockers exploding. We don't care if the beds explode. Those are cheap and easy, but not this. I also need to go into my minion management screen right off the bat because those of you who may know Evil Genius, the maximum of your population in Evil Genius 1 is 100. The mod makes it 999. Right now I only have 5. But after we get like 1 or 2 story bits done, it's going to expand quickly. Really what I should be doing with these beds is I should be doubling them up instead of making the hotspots available on both sides. Like so. And let's add a couple more. This is actually more cramped than I should have it, but you know what? It's fine. Like I said, I intentionally never plan my bases out. I just want to wing it. And I tend to prefer not using corridors because who needs hallways when you can just put safe rooms up near the entrances of your base. That way, if someone does come by and they get wait, where the hell am I? Wait, did I put that on the wrong side that I... Oh, shit. I did put that on the wrong side that I meant to. Hold it, wait, whoa, cancel that. Oh, God, I thought that shape was weird. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not used to the shape of the... Well, this is going wrong entirely immediately. It wouldn't be a PyroFalkon's Let's Play whatever without things going wrong immediately, so this is fine. I'm gonna fix that little thing real quick. Hold on a hot minute. Alright, I've sorted out my barracks situation. Now I will need a hallway, because we're going to need to make some sort of liminal space. Oh, damn, I miscalculated that too. You know what? Actually, this is fine, because having jogs in your hallways is usually a good thing because you can stick security cameras on there and not have too many problems. Yeah, I actually like that little jog. And then, to get started in Evil Genius, you need to have unsafe rooms near the beginning. So, I'm probably only going to do... I will only do this temporarily. We're going to make a control room here, but we're going to destroy it eventually. I just need to do this long enough to get a control panel. and a memory bank. But I intend to put this hallway all the way across like this. Oh, actually, no. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. First, I need to measure this a little bit. So I want to put the main hallway here, right? So that'll be the main hallway. And then, so we need a jog in the wall at some point. Let's call it, like, let's see if we do that. Yeah. So, right? Because this, right, okay. So, actually, yeah, that kind of works out exactly how I want it to. Never mind, I measured that just fine. Okay, so we're going to make a temporary control room right here. But this will probably wind up being something else that I need buried, but not that buried. Actually, hold on a minute. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Okay. This is what I get for overthinking everything. Okay, we're gonna put in our strong room here with 2 briefcase racks. We'll add a third. And then this will be the control room connected to it. With control panels here, and then I suppose a memory bank here. We'll expand it out later. And then we'll put the door for it here. Yeah, there we go. So now, in order to get to the strong room, they have to pass through the control room. The reason I do it that way is because if you have too many of your dangerous rooms up front, then the enemy agents will be able to see them easier and get access to them quicker, and you don't want that. You want the agents to take as long as possible to get there. And this way, if I notice that I have thieves in here, then it'll be just a quick cleanse the base order, and suddenly everyone's going to die because the enemy will be right here in the middle of a bunch of stuff, and then they'll also have to try to get out. And in fact, I actually did this wrong too. Hold on, pause that. I actually want to turn this into a barracks. So this part's fine, but let's turn all of that into a barracks. Yeah, because this way there's a second place our people can hang out. The reason I do it this way, again, is so we have plenty of people in the vicinity in case there are enemies who need to be eliminated. And, shush. And unlike a lot of Evil Genius players, I do tend to prefer violence. There is definitely a place to have social minions, but a rocket launcher to the face ends threats just as efficiently. There we go. Okay. And if I wasn't playing the mod, I wouldn't bother having so many beds and lockers, but we're going to be expanding our personnel very quickly. So even with the lockers up, you can see now my capacity is already at 56 minions, which is way, way overpowered. We're just going to turn up our yellow shirt count to that 56, and soon we will have plenty of... Hi, friends. We'll have plenty of people to work with. So now we just need to get this hallway built, followed by the control room, followed by the storeroom, and then I can move this garbage storeroom over here, and we'll be in good shape. These investigators are getting a little too close for comfort. They aren't...
Man, oh man!
Yeah, they don't see anything bad yet. But given the fact they're in the control room... Yeah, here comes one of my yellow shirts with the control room. But I guess they're not even really looking. I was going to do the execution order, but... Oh, now they're on their way back. Okay. Well, I better get myself over there. So, you can see here, I am Adam Steele, the twin brother of my old nemesis, because this, I think, is the only way I can defeat him for good. But as I head over to the control room with my dapper tuxedo, we need to get ready, because now that we have some hot items here... Wow, they still don't really seem to care, huh? Well, we need to unlock the freezer, so we're gonna just go ahead and do this. So we're just gonna flag him to die and then hit the red alert just to cleanse the base. There we go, yes. So that unlocks the freezer, which is all I really cared about from that exchange. And we'll just go ahead and leave the dead bodies on the ground. It's fine. This is just a normal part of being an evil genius. So now, I don't think I need to make the control room any bigger, so we can have the freezer go off of it. I build my bases, as you can see here, very differently from how many people would. I don't like hallways, even though they're the only places that can have traps, because especially on the first island, real estate's at a premium, so you want to make sure that you have enough space to get everything crammed in that you need. And with this mod, the population limit is so high that we're going to have so many minions running around, we're going to need extra objects for them to be able to heal themselves. So this way, everything should be alright. Now, the next thing we're going to do, once we get this taken care of, is we need to start earning some money on the world domination screen. And here is where, if you know Evil Genius as well as I do, you'll know there's a bug, or a technique, but pretty much a bug, where you can send all of the yellow shirts you've got to the land, the countries now, and have them get as much money as they want without any sort of challenge or without any enemies coming to stop them. I don't particularly like doing that technique, though, because I'm gonna move these a little bit.
Object will be moved shortly.
I don't like doing that technique, though, because I feel that's a little cheaty. I mean, I'm already cheating a bunch because of the mod anyway, but if I was gonna go so far, you know what? No, hold on. Expand this one notch.
Room construction
Yeah.
underway.
That way I can scoot
Warning,
this
placing this object
over.
here renders another object inaccessible.
Well, I'll handle that once they're done. Anyway,
Object will be moved shortly.
if I'm gonna go that far with getting money without risk, then I may as well just put in the cheat code and give myself $1 billion right off the start, because if you're not going to gather money with risk, why even bother sitting there waiting for hours upon hours to get that much? You may as well just enter a cheat code and hit a button and get millions of dollars and be done with it. So we're not doing it that way, but I will time skip over all of that grinding, so that way you don't have to sit there and watch nothing happening. What I had said about money before doesn't mean I'm not going to get any money. So 10 of my yellow shirts have been dispatched to Europe. And, whoa, boy, that was... Let me click that a little carefully. Also, while they're there, they can pick up our first henchman, which is... Now, this says it's number 2, but I believe this is actually Full Metal Jackie. I think the mod has swapped these two. Number 2 is your assistant in the tutorial of Evil Genius 1, who, obviously, we have skipped the tutorial and don't need it. Now, while my minions are there, they can gather a little cash. We're only getting $4,000 a minute, which is not very much in Evil Genius terms, but it's a start. And hey, even the most evil world-dominating power in the world has to start somewhere. Yeah. Shush. Shush. Okay. So, oh, the Full Metal Jackie one is also available. Okay, so we're going to just transfer these 10 yellow shirts over to Australia as well. And I believe this is actually number 2. Well, just waiting. There we go. So, because we got number 2... Yeah, see, we've got Jackie already. So, the mod maker has kind of swapped those two. She's just smoking and blowing it in Eli's face. The mod maker kind of swapped the triggers on those, but it doesn't matter. So, the important thing is we've got our first 3 henchmen now. I'm going to send the 10 yellow shirts back to Europe to keep getting some money. I suppose I could send Eli with them to also get some money, but I'm going to keep number 2 and Full Metal Jackie at home. This strong room can be destroyed and converted into a little trap room, and my armory is complete, where I have the cells facing outward to the dead bodies. Hey, I might be the bad guy in this scenario, but this is probably fine. So, speaking of which, here's our maid, and once we get her, we can get our interrogation chair and start making valets, and then the game will basically start in earnest. I don't think I've got safe rooms available yet. I do not. And that's the staff room, the pharmacy, and the mess hall. We're going to be putting those over here. I suppose I could link that to this entrance. I mean, I didn't mean to make this entrance, but may as well use it for something. So, anyway. But I like having the doors back here for the dangerous rooms. Actually, if I had unlocked the freezer first, I probably would have put the door back here. But anyway, I like my areas being large and the rooms sweeping and as few hallways as possible. That way I have specific choke points for when I need to take the fight to the enemy agents. Right now, this is good enough. Except I need my interrogation chair, which is not available. Maybe it'll be available once they throw her in jail. We have our first interrogation chair, so we'll give the order for the maid to get interrogated. And meanwhile, there are additional things we need to do here on the world stage. I'm going to send a couple yellow shirts to a few areas each so they can start plotting and getting information. I don't remember off the top of my head where the most important things are in order to... or the most important regions are to get certain missions off the top of my head. But this is good enough. We'll just start slowly getting it done. I do know that there is a security guard down here at the very bottom of South America. And that's why I've sent 2 yellow shirts here specifically, because we need to get that security guard sooner than later. We need soldiers. That way we can start getting money at a faster rate. But for now, we're at least going to get our valet. We'll be able to start doing a little bit of psychological warfare to these jerks who are invading my island. Our first valet has been trained, or has learned the secrets of how to be a valet after torturing a woman. Either way, so now we're going to build ourselves a training room. This one I'm going to also kind of put attached to the armory, but this one can actually be attached to the hallway as well. So we'll expand out the hallway. Like so, and I just realized I haven't put any fire extinguishers anywhere, so I should probably do that before things get very bad in my base. There we go. Good enough for now. Then in the training room, we'll put in enough desks to start producing 6 valets at a time. That should be fine for now. We don't need to go too crazy with our rooms yet. That's actually a mistake I usually make in the mod, because knowing as I know that the maximum population limit in the mod is 999, I tend to overbuild and just build too many of everything too early. I actually do that in most city builders too. You know, if I'm playing SimCity and we have a town of 300 people, we don't need a police station, a hospital, and a fire department. They can put that shit out themselves. We just need to get the items eventually once we have so many people that they become more difficult to manage. Now, we did unlock the mess hall, so that can at least go in. And let's do it this way. I wasn't going to, but yeah, let's actually put a door there. So we'll stick a door, and eventually we will need the mixing bowl as well. Yeah. The salad bars can go up here if we get to that point. So I will expand this out 2 more tiles so we have... There we go. So that way we can get the mixing bowl right here. And then the staff room can go right next to it. Staff room. There it is. I'm wondering if I should put a door on this one too, just to... Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's make doors. The whole thing with making doors is they usually aren't helpful for your people, but they waste the time of your enemy, and that can sometimes be very helpful. I don't like putting doors deeper in the base, because it just wastes time. It's not needed. However, doing it here just makes a ton of sense. So we'll drop down a couple drinks machines. That reclining chair is extremely expensive, so we're not going to worry about it quite yet. But we will set up some loudspeakers both here and in the mess hall. That way our people can respond to threats. Speaking of which, here is an investigator. So you can see why I designed my base this way. The investigator is probably going to try to go to the control room first, as she is doing. As she is not doing. Interesting. But because she's going deeper, she's going all the way here, she has to come through the heart of the base to get out. And I prefer doing it this way because this way... when you funnel all of your enemies into one direction, one spot, one choke point, one bottleneck, then you don't have to worry about your personnel being spread out all over the island. They'll be right there, and any method that you choose to dispose of your enemies will be viable. The yellow shirts here can handle killing her when she inevitably takes a picture of the body bags. Yup, and I don't know where they're going, but they're going in a really dumb place. There we go. Okay, well, we got one hit in. Alright, everybody who's here, come here. I need the henches. Need the henches. There we go. One silenced pistol round to the brainstem. It usually solves most problems. One of the flaws of the original Evil Genius was the fact you had to set a worker count, a yellow shirt count. Because this number should be infinite. It should hit whatever your maximum population is. Usually, I always crank this up to 99 anyway, that just this way I know we've got lots of yellow shirts. But if you do that, you have Karen yelling at you throughout the game. So I'm going to keep this relatively low, just so this number doesn't blink red, and so Karen doesn't yell at me. I should be yelling at Karen. I am the Evil Genius, after all. God, I look so good in my black tuxedo. Oh, and now we have the power plant unlocked. Okay, so the power plant is one exception to my link all my rooms together, because especially as you saw there, once an enemy agent knows that they have been made, they start running around like a lunatic. So I prefer to put my power room even deeper in the base, which is what we are doing here. So we are going to... I guess I can start it here. Why not? Actually, I could save money by doing that a slightly different way. Where's the corridor? There we go. So we're going to use the corridor. Yeah, we're going to use the corridor as our lead-in area, so to speak. I will still keep most of this open.
All power-consuming objects offline.
We'll put a door there, and then with the power plant, we can do this. Then we can put the power generators like so. I should only need 4 to get started. So let's expand this another 4 tiles. Actually, let's go a bit more so I can, put some capacitors down. And I want 2 tiles between every object, if possible. Now, conventional wisdom will tell you you can get away with this by only putting 1 thing between, or 1 tile between each object. However, I have found, or when you make hallways, I have found that the AI seems to not like that. So that's why I do it with 2 tiles. And there we go. So this is nice and big and open, and the other huge benefit of making that a corridor is if people get real cranky and actually get down there, then we'll have some fire extinguishers ready to go right next to all of the power. And meanwhile, since everything else is offline, I mean, it's fine. This early in the game, you generally don't have enemies coming at you. I'm going to recall all of my people because they don't need to be out here. Oh, geez. Most of my people are dead because I haven't been paying attention to them. But there's the security guard, so we're going to need him eventually. You know what? Hold on. Drop off. Yeah. Drop off the people you had, helicopter. Switch you to stealing so you start getting a little bit of money, and then as soon as we've got our power back, we can start getting this guard and hopefully get some soldiers. This is just going to take a minute because we don't have any money to work with. I may need to send some people out into the field anyway just to make sure that we're getting some form of income, because otherwise we're just kind of sitting here. Actually, I wonder if it'd behoove me to get rid of a room for a minute. We don't really need the staff room. I will order its destruction so I can recoup those costs. Yeah, there we go. And recoup the power. That's helpful. And then we can just build the staff room again later. Yeah, I'd freak out from that too, tourist. He kind of sold the animation of being kicked before the foot came out, I think. Anyway, these tourists are jerks, and I sort of want them not here anymore, but they're not really causing me problems. I believe the whole point of the tourists, if they see something that makes them freak out and then they go home, they tell their government about the evil island and that increases your heat. But these tourists who are just kind of hanging out, you know, they're kind of pounding the walls, but they're not really accomplishing anything. That's the first time I can recall someone not falling to my interrogation. Interesting. Well, we're out of time for this episode anyway, and the next one will complete our interrogation of this soldier and make him wish he had never been in the wrong place at the wrong time, but at least our yellow shirts will start being smart enough to start shooting people in the face. And it's all me as the evil genius asks of them. Thank you all very much for watching. I will see you again tomorrow for another episode.